What's good? Welcome to Chit Chat with Church. It's your favorite Bronx site, Nova Church. And today, we're going to have a spectacular episode because we are going over my 5 tips to running the New York City Marathon. As you can see, and if you can't, you hear the jingles of my 2 medals. This is from 2015 and 2016 marathon. 2015 was a big learning experience into marathon training and running a marathon. 2016, I kind of perfected it and beat my time by about 45 minutes or so. Let me take these off so they don't jingle throughout this whole podcast. I'm going to leave them right here. Hopefully that's motivation for all the runners running this weekend. Shout outs to you for the hard work you have put in up until this point. This is an epic moment in your life. If it's your first time doing a 26.2 mile run, I'm telling you, you're going to feel so rewarded. There's nothing that can match the feeling of pushing your body and mind to those limits. Now, I want to say thank you to everyone who has been tuning into my podcast. I appreciate your ears, and I especially appreciate your comments. I have a whole list of your comments and ideas and for future topics on the podcast that will unfold in future episodes. Now, today, we are going over the top 5 tips that I have for running the New York City Marathon. And my first tip to everybody, tip number 5, we'll start 5, 4, 3, 2 to the 1. We'll go that way. So the first tip, which is the 5th one, will be relax. You've come all this way. You've worked hard. You need to relax. Don't have no FOMO, fear of missing out, because you want to be at events before the marathon and you want to go here and be there and be on your feet. But let me tell you, stay off your feet. Relax, hydrate, carb up, do everything that you know you need to do to be prepared for the marathon. Now, a friend of mine who has run numerous marathons, has a great time. He told me a few years back when I was looking for tips and ideas, and he said that he actually goes to the movies the day before a marathon. The reason why is, and the location he chooses is a theater that has those seats that can recline. You hit the button, you go back and you kick your feet up, you know? So he chooses those type of theaters. He picks a long movie and he sits back, relax, and he's relaxing his mind, he's relaxing his body. Instead of soda and popcorn, he's getting pretzels and some water. Now, this is something that he chooses to do, and he does it to relax his mind, his body, give him something to do so he's not so antsy the day before the match. Get your mind off of everything, because if you keep that feeling going of antsiness and anxiety, you may not be able to sleep too good the night before. And trust me, you're gonna need that sleep and be well rested before you run some 26.2 miles. That's my first tip, which is the 5th tip. Now I'm gonna go to the 4th tip. Now my 4th tip, the 4th tip to running the New York City Marathon is do not overdress. See, I said that with a little hesitation in my voice because that's one of my own shortcomings. In the 2015 marathon, I overdressed, right? I wore too many layers under my shorts. I wore compression pants under my shorts, and I had a compression shirt under a dry fit shirt. And what ended up happening was, by the time I got to Brooklyn, I already was sweating way too much. So I started cramping in my quads and my hamstrings, and that was way too early to be feeling that way. I stopped at an area to go to a porta potty where I literally had to take off my shorts, then my compressions, and then put my shorts back on. Threw away these pants. I threw away the extra layers I actually had that day, which was some good quality clothing, and that's a regret of mine. So I suggest, instead of overdressing, if you want to be warm before the marathon, because you will be waiting around, you will be on the ferry, you will be outdoors on Staten Island before you take off. Wear some clothes you don't mind donating. They have these donation boxes and things like that. And or you could just leave your stuff out there and they'll pick it up. But I suggest you go to the boxes and you wear something that you don't mind throwing away. And you won't have to worry about feeling cold standing around and all of that. So that's a huge suggestion that I am making, because I feel like that really was detrimental to my time in 2015, and having to stop and take off layers in a tight porta potty was not cool at all. So please do not overdress. What ended up happening was I was listening to people's stories from the year prior, and that year prior was very, very cold. And I'm listening to their stories, it's sinking into my psyche, and I'm thinking, I gotta dress warm. It was cold. But it's your race. Check out the weather. See what kind of elements you can handle. Wear the bare minimum. I'm telling you. Now, we are moving on to tip number 3, right? Yeah, 3. Yeah. So now, tip number 3 is don't start off so fast. When you begin to run, you start off on the bridge, right? And the gun goes off. Bang! You've been standing around for hours. So you're just like, let's go. You might be a little cool or cold, so you want to get the moving. But make sure you checking your time. Make sure you're not running at the pace of the guy next to you, the lady in front of you, the hobbit behind, whatever. Run your race. I have witnessed people crossing that first bridge and having to stop because they was not running their pace. You need to be able to conserve your energy. You know that. You've been training. You've been reading about this. You've been seeing what you need to do. So when you're out there, right, and you're moving, understand that everybody is moving at their own pace. And a lot of these people might be moving way faster than their pace. So my suggestion is, when that gun goes off, when you keep that in your psyche, because you will be juiced up to the gills, ready to go. Your GU gelled out, you coffeeed out, your power drink this, and your whatever you got flowing through your veins like nitro. Keep it at bay until at least the halfway mark. You could kind of, you want to conserve that. So that first bridge, pace yourself. Take it easy. You have a long run ahead of you. Remember that. It's about strategy. And you know that because you've been training. Now, we're going down to my tip number 2. And it's a secret. But I'm going to tell you. Don't tell nobody else. Because tip number 2 is a secret. And I'm going to tell you right now. Don't get bag check. Why, you ask? Why? Why wouldn't I get bag check? Why? What if I have bags? Don't get bag check. I'm going to tell you right now. You're going to miss out on getting the free poncho, homie. They give out these ponchos at the end of the run. And if you have bag check, I guess they figure you have clothes to put on. So you don't need to be taking up some of these nice ponchos we're giving out that says New York City Marathon 2019 or whatever they're going to have on there. I have a beautiful poncho that I got in 2016 that I still have. I can use it like a Snuggie, Velcro's up. But I know I'm gonna post this, so by tomorrow it should be up. But I'm gonna tell you this: when you go pick up your bib at the expo, tell them I don't want bag check. If you didn't choose already, it's a limited amount of, I think, ponchos. So they might be like, oh, it's too late to get the poncho, but you could opt out of doing bag check. But get on that list, get that free poncho. It's a nice souvenir, and it's warm and cozy as you're walking another mile to get out of Central Park. Because that's what happens at the end of the mile. If you didn't know, at the end of 26.2 miles, they keep you walking. And you're going to where do I get out? Where do I meet my family? You're going to have to walk a good, I don't even know, half a mile or so, very slowly because it's packed. So you can't, you want that poncho. Get that poncho. Don't get bag checked. Now, my number one tip for the New York City Marathon. There's something that people need to understand. You need to take advantage of those moments where there are not that many people cheering. Take advantage of that. I'm going to tell you why. New York City is going to be lit. Sunday, no doubt about it. New York City is going to be electric. You're going to come off the bridge, after bridge, which is many bridges, and people are cheering. People are going to be screaming, you could do it, go. You got a name on your shirt, they're going to yell it, Cindy, you got it, girl. Come on, girl, you got it. Go ahead, Eric, I see your name on your shirt. Push it real good. Anyway, people will be cheering you on, screaming, bullhorns, bells, whistles, whatever, handing you candy, GU gels, waters, fruits, banana, whatever. They're going to be out there cheering nonstop, and it can make you feel, it keeps your mind motivated. But let me tell you, when there's those streets where it's just a little less people and it's more quiet, where you can hear yourself think, take advantage of those moments to rediscover your inner coach. And what you do is you re-gauge, check your time, your pace, your fuel. You got some gels with you. You got this with you. When was the last time you hydrated? Are you thirsty? Are you depleting too much salt? And you need to put something back in your system. I need you to fully understand that you need to take advantage of those moments, all of those moments where the streets are not as loud and distracting, and re-gauge yourself. Take advantage of those moments. Feel your body, feel your form, posture back up, lift those knees, Now, on that note, we're going to finish off by saying good luck. I'm gonna see y'all out there. We gonna, in fact, I want y'all to look out for us in the Bronx Soul. We're gonna be at mile 20. When you come off that Willis Avenue bridge, we're gonna have some fuel out there, a wand. You can roll out some of those knots if you need it. So if you catch this, see us, shout us out. Bronx Soul. You can also follow us at Bronx Soul on Instagram, and on Facebook and all that good stuff. So we're gonna be out there cheering with the Bronx Nomads. See y'all Sunday. Remember everything you learned through this process that got you here. If you're listening to this and you're not running a New York City Marathon, you can always utilize some of these tips for yourself. So thank you, everyone, for listening in. Please continue to leave your comments. We out of here. Thank you for listening to Chit. Deuces.